Welcome to today's video, and we are going to be simulating what if Algeria created an empire. So first, we're going to have the Algerians probably attack Tunisia first, as I think they are one of the weaker neighbors, other than the ones to the south, and they are more valuable in terms of land. So Algeria will immediately begin to invade into the southern part of Tunisia and will quickly begin to mobilize all their troops into separating Tunisia, and the southern half of Tunisia would quickly surrender and they would immediately surrender. Boom. And we can go ahead and get rid of their capital, and they are going to be doing full annexation of Tunisia, which will look along the lines of like this, like so. Boom. Also, if you're wondering for the civilization videos, the next episode will be tomorrow, so you will be seeing that tomorrow. Um, there might be a few lore drops here and there, but that'll be it from me. So one of the weakest countries, and that is claimed by Morocco, is going to be West Sahara, and the next country they're going to be attacking. So what we are going to do for this scenario is highlight them blue, despite the guaranteed freedom by Mauritania. And also for the sake of the scenario, there will be no NATO. So if you're just in case you're wondering, all of these Empire videos will have NATO out of this scenario unless just specified by me that it will be activated or it will be allowed in. So back to the video. We're going to have Algeria begin to invade into the eastern northern part of Western Sahara and completely block off Morocco from getting any access to the Western Saharans. They will continue to roll through, and they will finally surrender after basically having no pieces of land left. But this is going to be full annexation of the Western Sahara. Previous borders looked like this. Now they are part of Algeria. Which, is, as you can tell, that Morocco is completely surrounded, so they are going to invade them, as said. I don't know if these islands are Moroccan, so I think they are. If they're not, they're Algerian now. Algeria will quickly invade into the eastern part of Morocco, and begin to move into the southern part of Morocco. And their new navy will quickly take over these islands over here. And after a little bit of fighting in Morocco, this is quickly to reach the surrender of and we will have another full annexation by Algeria. So we are going to see the Algerians capture all of this land and take them for themselves. Boom. And all these little islands over here. We are going to go ahead and remove the capital from this. And we're going to see Algeria take a few islands over here. This is going to be Algerian. And Algeria is going to move a little bit into Europe. And they're going to take over Monaco right here. I said they're going to take them over, which will have them look like this. So they got a little enclave into Europe and Malta. So now we're going to see a little bit more aggressive expansion towards the south, where they have not been to in a while. So they are going to be expanding into Mauritania, as that is more valuable land compared to yeah, more valuable land compared to Nigeria and Mali over here. More valuable land than those. So we're going to see them invading a little bit into the desert, but not too much, as the desert is useless and it is a waste of resources. We're gonna have them capture that much land, and then soon after them capturing the capital of Mauritania, they will quickly go down and capture the rest of the important provinces of Mauritania, and quickly get any more major cities back here that are going to be straggling or not accepting that they're going to be fully annexed by Algeria. So we're going to see Algeria continue their full annexation process as what they've done for previous countries. So this is what they look like now. They're basically a Western African empire. So this is what they look like, and they're not going to be stopping. But now they're going to be going into Mali, I believe. Yeah, they're going to go into Mali and begin to say, no, you're underneath our government and you're going to stay like that. You are not going to, quote unquote, rebel. As Mali has a bunch of rebellion processes that are going wild everywhere. And yeah, it's just crazy in Mali. So, um, Algeria will go ahead and try to take care of the process. They move a little bit into the desert, but they will continue their process into more valuable land, which is their goal in this war effort. And they will quickly surround the capital of Mali, though they will quickly manage to make them surrender. And boom, the entire southern half will surrender. But now they gotta invade more stragglers that are rebelling. Boom, boom, and then finally we will have another full annexation by uh by a new major power, which its goal is to be able to get its ancient predecessors underneath its own thumb, like what they had for them in many years ago. For example, France. That would be a that would be a goal for them to completely capture them, but due to how strong they are going to be unable to fully control them. We're going to see the erasing of their capital as well as every other country of what they've done. This is pre-Mali borders. Now this is Mali borders now. They don't exist. We're also going to see the invasion of Libya because they've been holding it off for a while as they were trying to fully integrate them peacefully, but Libya is broken in current politics right now, so they will quickly begin to roll through the desert as they begin to make a few resistances against the desert, and boom, Libya will surrender, and we will also see another full annexation. By this point, we won't see any more, probably won't see any more full annexations by the Algerian government, which we better hope is true, as they are really giant now, and a bunch of countries will begin to invest into Algeria, or they will try to create a coalition against them. We will see pre-Algerian night Libyan borders over here turn into that. So now we have basically Northwest Africa, the Northwest African country, and from the looks of it, they're trying to unite the Arab world, which would be all of, uh, which would be all of this, which I do not recommend trying to unite, as they have a history of not working out well. But this is basically all of the Arab world, and yeah, you wouldn't want that. And Egypt is still way stronger than Algeria, so they are going to continue their invasions into more weaker countries, like, for example, Niger. There. We're going to see more invasions down here, and it's going to be the invasion of Chad and Niger. Chad is more valuable, but we will see not the surrendering yet. We will see the invasion of Chad and Niger, which is planned between Algeria. They will immediately manage to capture all of these lands as it's mostly desert and not valuable. They will continue to invade until they have reached a certain point where now there will be a few changes now. They will begin to split their army into two, where they can invade both countries at the same time, which does end up ending up well for them, but would not recommend into the recommended future. Mali will quickly surrender, and so will Chad. Now we will go on to peace treaty time. I just came up with the peace treaty, and this is what I decided to come up with. We will see the full annexation of Niger, but not the full annexation of Chad. Apparently, there's something I'm missing over here. I swear if it's these little lines. Okay, I think we're fine. It's highlighting red. Oh, did I? I'll be right back. Right, I think I just came back with the official peace treaty. We will see the annexation of Niger and the northern half of Chad, which is not very likable of you, Algeria, but whatever. As they will continue. Is that the right, is that a right different color? It is. I can't tell, but yeah. We will see the ally of Germany to Algeria's side, and this is for future reasons, but we will also see the ally of Niger and the ally of Ethiopia. Two very unlikely allies, but still allies. So we will also begin to see more influence into the southern region over here, but we will finally be getting a great coalition down here, but it's not going to go as planned as. Yeah, most of these countries were forced against their will, as they will because they wanted to continue to team up with Algeria, but apparently their people said no, and they started rebelling. So yeah, it's a difficult time in Africa, as they will continue through, and this will be the coalition. And turns out, um, this is exactly what this alliance needed, apparently. As boom, um, they wanted this. They wanted for them to create a coalition and stuff. Yeah. Also, Cape Cabo Verde, this little island nation right here, will be Algerian. Yes, they become Algerian. And now we will see the invasion of sub-Saharan Africa with the Nigerians. We will see the full capitulation of um, these countries: Ghana, Togo, Benin. Yeah, I know all these countries. But Algeria will quickly begin to invade all these other countries, as they do not see the others over here as a threat, as they are extremely weak, but they will go ahead and invade as a warning. We will see the switching sides of Liberia, and they will be fully capitulating Sierra Leone, and they will continue to help through, and the rest of Guinea will fully surrender, and we'll have the invasion of the Ivory Coast. Oh, I don't have their capital. Well, they're fully capitulated, and the rest of the countries will go ahead and surrender, as they do not see a use of fighting in this fight. Now we will see the um yeah, peace treaty time. Alright, just came back and we're gonna see another invasion and it's gonna be into Europe, surprisingly. We can't invade into Portugal yet because of sea borders right here, and Spain is the closest country that would be into invading. Yes, yes. So they would be up for grabs for invading, and we're also gonna see a new ally out of this. First, we're gonna highlight all the Spanish islands, one over here, and finally, we're gonna see the Portuguese join on the side of the Algerians. So boom, they're gonna join on the side of the Algerians, and we're gonna have the invasion starting off with Portugal invading a little bit, and we're also gonna see the full invasion into the Spanish islands over here, and over here by the Algerians, and this is when they begin to plan an invasion into the Spanish Isles or this Iberian Peninsula. They will successfully invade into the Catalonian area, and this is when they would begin to invade into the Gibraltar area. And Portugal will go ahead and begin to focus onto the Galicia area up there, which will go ahead and leave only two spots where the Spanish have access to the sea, but only one where it's only peaceful with all the other nations. Like that, for example. But the Portuguese are blocking them off from Ireland to the Iberian Peninsula. We will continue to see the invasion of the Spanish lands until Algeria will go ahead and force them to capitulate. Alright, I'm gonna be right back with the peace treaty. Alright, I just came back from the peace treaty, and this is what I decided to come up with. We're gonna see the Andorrans take up Catalonia over here, right there, and we're gonna see the Portuguese take over this much land, which they are gonna become an official um Algerian ally rather than puppet state like how others have been, except for Germany, Ethiopia, and Nigeria. So we're gonna see Algeria fully annex all of these lands. They'll continue to integrate it, and they will continue to push into Europe. And this is going to be their final country they're going to be invading, and it's also going to be France. And it's also going to be where the Germans will go ahead and come to help them over here. I'm just going to do that. This is where the Germans are going to be helping out the um, Algerians because the Germans want quote unquote revenge from World War II. Alright, on to the war. In the Monacan lands, we're going to see an invasion all the way over here, which will be successful, heavily successful, by the way. That much land taken over, and the Corsican island taken over. We will go ahead and see the Algerians take over this little bay area, the bay-ish area, and the Germans begin to take over this area of French lands, and this is where they will continue to roll through into France, and Basically, the entire eastern half of France has been taken over. We're going to continue to see the invasion of France all the way at a point where the Mediterranean area is completely taken over, and Germany will begin to make a spearhead all the way up to the Parisian capital, and the Algerians will go ahead and do the same. This area of France will go ahead and surrender, and the Algerians and Germans will go ahead and take over Paris. At this point, this is when they would finally surrender, and we're going to see of um, the peace treaty of London. Yeah, London. Peace treaty time. We just came up with the peace treaty, and this is what I decided to come up with. So first, we're gonna have what the Germans got in this war, and we're gonna see the Germans take over this entire area of France, and there's still gonna be a Algerian ally, and we're gonna move on to Andorra over here, where they will get this much land, which will fully bring him out of a small little micronation into this giant little Catalonian thing. And we're going to see him become a Algerian ally after taking up a bunch of land from Algeria. And we're also going to see Algeria expand their land in Europe that much, and they're going to be forcing France into a puppet state of them. So this is going to be it for today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed, and bye!